So recently I've been going to more social groups, just trying to meet more people, I suppose. And I've actually been doing a fairly good job at passing myself off as an NT. Then one day, I got a message from someone in the group saying that they've discovered my channel. Basically, I do need to remain undisclosed when it comes to the spectrum, because the representation of AS people being put out there is not even slightly accurate. Further, it's not acceptable to be born as an Aspergian or autistic person. I do indeed have to remain undisclosed, and do have to pass myself off as an NT, because if I'm associated with the A word, it will severely cripple me socially, and people will basically make all sorts of strange assumptions about me, none of which are good. And it's because we're simply inundated with all sorts of vile and disgusting stigmas. It's actually quite shocking just how much stigma we have. People have all sorts of bizarre preconceived notions about us. For example, most people, when they hear the A word, the image that forms in their mind is usually that of a screaming child that can't function. And it's not even close to being an accurate depiction, and it doesn't end there. For example, quite a few think that we're, stupid or intellectually disabled somehow, or some think that we've no emotions. They might think we've the mind of a child, that we're mentally ill or even psychotic. They might assume that we don't understand some things, which is quite the coincidence. Or think that something is horribly wrong with us, or think that we're incompetent or have impaired judgment. Some think that we're off with the fairies or trapped in some sort of daydream world or some such garbage. And there are even those that think we're these sort of invalids that can't do anything, or they associate us with violence. They think that we're dangerous. There are people that are genuinely concerned just to be around us. Some will even view the spectrum as this kind of dark takeover of the mind, and think that any second now the autism in quotes will take over and will go on this murderous rampage or some nonsense like that. And then you have all these hate groups and parent groups that are trying to push this appalling narrative of the spectrum being magically separate from the person somehow. So instead of viewing us as people, rather they view us as this epidemic that people suffer from. They basically view us as this awful disease or defect or disorder that needs to be stopped. Which is a whole other topic just by itself. But you get the picture. People believe all sorts of wacky shit about us, right? Or more to the point, they believe all that nonsense then applies to me. And even if they've never heard of the spectrum before, they just do a quick little Google search and they pick up all the vile stigmas that way, as the internet is just flooded with this nonsense. And it's not at all an accurate representation of who I am as a person, not even slightly. For example, the person in the group that found out, I explained to them what the big deal is and swore them to secrecy. And that person then said, "Oh, don't worry, I won't tell anyone." And right after explaining to them the problem of misconception and stigma, that person then used the idiom, curiosity killed the cat. But then right after explained to me what it meant, as if I wouldn't understand it. And I don't have a problem understanding idioms or figures of speech. If you say to me, curiosity killed the cat, of course I'm going to know what you mean by it. I'm not going to take it literally and think that you actually killed a cat. But because some people have this idea stuck in their heads, or they find it somewhere on the internet, they take these stigmas and then falsely conclude, oh yeah, that's what Moro is like. Do you see what I mean? It's simply not accurate. Or, okay, another example. People will say that Aspergians and autistic people hate the stock standard social greetings. No, it's completely false. I may suck at them sometimes, but I certainly don't hate them. In fact, when our crew has our meeting, it's fairly normal for people to say hi to each other. Yet on the other hand, I do think that on some level, everyone realizes that the stock standard social greetings are quite goofy, and most people have all sorts of problems that they have to deal with, right? And more than that, most people are deeply insecure and self-conscious. And even if they're having the shittiest day ever, they'll still say, "Oh, good, thank you. How are you?" But you can see what the intent is with the stock standard greetings. It's to be friendly, and it's also a way to see if others are friendly or not. It's a sort of way of to dip your toe in and test the waters, so to speak. There you go, is another figure of speech. So hopefully people will see my point. They'll pick up all these stigmas about the spectrum and then automatically ascribe them to me, when in reality there is only one Moro. You will never find another Moro. All these vile stigmas are not even close to being an honest representation, not for me and not for other AS people. And sometimes you'll have people think, oh, it's not such a big deal. You can just explain that they're wrong. If only it were that simple. What people don't realize is that for most NTs, once they latch onto a belief, they do not want to let go of it. They will cling to their beliefs like a leech on a pig's ass. So basically, it ends up being incredibly ingrained and extremely difficult to dispel. And when you have this cloud of stigma looming over you, it does indeed affect you socially. It does affect your relationships and your interactions with people. For example, I'm actually estranged from the bulk of my family. A lot of people don't know this, but and it's basically because they believe all sorts of wacky shit about me. For some of them, it's even gotten to the point where I just don't feel safe to be around them. And you can explain it until you're blue in the face, but at the end of the day, some people will simply believe whatever they want to believe, and there's nothing you can do to change that. Yes, it's unfortunate, but not everyone will accept us as we are, as human beings. For some of them, we do just have to kind of wait until they die out. It is friends and family, but sometimes you do just have to cut your losses and move on. If you don't, you can actually spend an entire lifetime and a lot of energy just trying to gain their acceptance when that simply isn't possible. And I do feel sorry for people that are stuck doing that, in the hopes that it will just, somehow, work out one day. So it's not just bosses where it leads to a higher unemployment rate. It's also friends and family. But these social groups, I really do hope it works out. I do want to meet more people. And for us, there aren't exactly places where we can meet people. And you do have to pass yourself off as an NT. It is the most honest representation that you can put forth. I do indeed need to remain undisclosed. Right, that's the video. See you guys later.